Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have three articles to discuss the developments on the Ukrainian front. One is from a Ukrainian media outlet, the other one is from the Arab media outlet, but they are using the Russian Ministry of Defense statements, the briefing, and I've never found that like so easily. And the other one comes from Russia, from Sputnik, where you have the map and you have little bullets, and it's visual. You open each bullet and it tells you what were developments over there. So I'm going to start with the Ukrainian side of the story, which is coming from Ukrinform, and it is from today at 1956, which is 7:56, so it's 8 o'clock p.m. Ukraine's Air Force hits enemy 4 times during the day. During the day, Ukraine's air forces launched 4 strikes on the Russian invaders. This is stated in the report of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine as of 6 o'clock p.m. on February 18, posted on. So this statement is report, and this is stated in a report of the General Staff. Okay, at 6 o'clock on February 18th. And I'm quoting, during the day, the Air Force of the Defense Forces launched 4 strikes on the enemy personnel and military equipment clusters. 2 Caliber cruise missiles were destroyed. At the same time, missiles and artillery units of the Defense Forces of Ukraine struck an enemy manpower cluster. All right. According to the General Staff, the troops of the Russian Federation launched 16 missile strikes during the day. 16. I thought they ran out of. In particular on the civilian, okay, we already know, I'm going to jump that, because they already say that, and I don't like to be propagandized too much, and I don't want you to be as well. So let's see what these guys are saying. The invaders are also launched 4 airstrikes and more than 30 MLRS attacks during the day. And I'm quoting, the enemy does not give up its invasion plans despite significant losses. The main efforts are focused on conducting offensive operations. Kupiansk, Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Sakhtarsk directions. So these are in this area right here where the blue things are right here. This area where the Vuhledar is too, but they don't mention, the Russians don't mention it, only the Ukrainians mention it. Interesting. No enemy offensive groups were detected in Volyn, Polisia, Sivershchnia, and Slobozhanshchnia directions. The Russian army hit more than 20 settlements in Kharkiv region. Kharkiv region is this, Kharkov, Russian Kharkiv, right here. This is the region, so probably in this area. In Kupiansk and Liman directions, this is going south. So this is, Liman is south here, south from that. Right, Liman right here, if I push on it. Says Liman, Russian air defenses shot down a Ukrainian drones. This is per the Russians on the same area. So in Kupiansk and Liman directions, the invaders shelled, and give us 12 settlements in Luhansk region, Spirnia, and Donetsk region. So that goes south a little bit of Liman, which is here is the Luhansk region, and this is the Donetsk region. And okay, in Bakhmut direction, Bakhmut, the Russians call it differently. They call it Artemovsk. I'm sorry, and I push on it and see. Artemovsk, Donetsk People Republic. Fierce fighting is taking place on the city outskirts. Earlier, Igor Baba, advisor Baba, interim head, said the Russian forces had taken all the neighboring heights. The same thing was said yesterday. The same thing was said the day before. No extra information coming from the Russians. The date is 18th of February 2023, right here in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know what's going on with the Russians here, but anyway, let's go back to the Ukrainians. So in Bakhmut direction, more than 18 areas of settlements suffered from enemy strikes. In Avdiivka, a little bit south, and Shakhtarsk directions, the Russian fired artillery at 13 areas of settlements, including Avdiivka, and go to Vuhledar, like here, in Donetsk region. The Russians don't call it Vuhledar, they call it Uhledar, is right here. Ugledar. And let's see what happened in Ugledar. Fighting is taking place in the city outskirts. The same thing was yesterday. As I said, the date is today. But they give the same, they don't update it or something. Zaporozhye direction, we go south then, and Donetsk region. So in Zaporozhye direction, the areas of, and they give you a few settlements here, and another one in Donetsk region were struck. So just struck by artillery. In Kherson, this is the lowest, the southest. This is right here, Kherson is north of Crimean Peninsula with Sevastopol here. This is the city of Kherson. This is the border right here. I mean the border where they got. This is the Dnieper River, and this is the Kherson. Let's see how far did they get. The Russians, what they say, what the Ukrainians say. In Kherson direction, Kherson city and its suburbs, as well as the area of more than 20 settlements, including came under enemy artillery fire. Let's see what the Russians are saying. So let's go to Kherson. Nothing here, but let's say here. Russian artillery units destroyed a 2 S-3 Akatsiya howitzer along with ammunition. 4 UAF soldiers were killed. 1 was wounded. So this is per the Russians. Let's see what happened in this in Gryanikovka. Russian air defenses shot down a Ukrainian drone, and on Novoberislav, Russian artillery destroyed a 120mm mortar with ammunition. 6 Ukrainian Air Force soldiers were killed, 1 was wounded. All right, so this is this. It has been established that the Russian troops fire artillery at the territories under their control to form a negative attitude towards Ukraine and discredit. Okay, bye-bye. Let's move to the Al Mayadin, the Arab news outlet that comes from actually the Russian Ministry of Defense. And they say here that the Russians report the southern group of forces continue an offensive operation along the Donetsk front line, backed by army aircraft and artillery units, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. And this is Gryanikovka settlements in Kharkiv region liberated. Russian Ministry of Defense. Let's see where that is. All right, I identified right here in the north where there's a little thing here by Kharkiv, but this map is showing not very well. It's right here somewhere, but I have another map. I identified on it, and it's right here. Right here is Gryanikovka that they say they liberated. Let's see. Forces of the Zapad group took control of the village during the offensive. The Russian Defense Ministry said, okay, so this is consistent with this. So this thing was liberated, according to the Russians. All right, so let's go and see what's going on here in this one. Russian Defense Minister spokesperson, Lieutenant General Igor Konashenkov, this guy right here, told reporters on Saturday that Russia's western group of forces completely liberated the Gryanikovka settlements in the Kharkov region. The Gryanikovka settlements in the Kharkiv region has been completely liberated as a result of an offensive operation by the western group of forces along the Kupiansk front line, he said. The spokesperson further affirmed that the southern group of forces continues an offensive operation along the Donetsk front line, backed by army aircraft and artillery units. The top military officials reported that up to 150 Ukrainian troops were killed in the past. 5 armored combat vehicles, 3 cars, a Grad multiple launch rocket launcher, and a Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer were destroyed, he detailed. 3 Ukrainian ammo stockpiles were destroyed near the communities of Ardeyevka and Krasnogorovka in the Donetsk People's Republic, as per Konashenko. And I'm quoting again, Russian army aircraft, missile and artillery units hit the firing positions of 85 Ukrainian artillery units in combat positions, as well as troops and equipment in 112 areas, he further specified. It seems that projecting the ultimate outcome of the war is not challenging, probably changing, as the Russian army gains ground. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian soldiers are reportedly threatening commanders, consuming alcohol, questioning orders, and many other violations. The same they say about you guys, so you're in good company. I think they don't know. That's the general stuff here. Threatening commanders, consuming alcohol. What do you want? Where is the ladies of the night in all of this? Gone? Questioning orders and many other violations. Ukrainian troops running low on ammunition, abandoning their posts. Okay, all right. It seems like these guys are having a blast, but hey, so basically nothing major. I mean, these guys say, "How we are conducting a military offensive." It's not. That doesn't look like an offensive to me. But anyway, that means fierce fighting. The opposition is good. We've been at this for what 8 months already, I think, back and forth, and nothing really major. So that's it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.